Microsoft spent over $100 billion trying to beat Google at search. They failed. Yahoo had the traffic, the brand, and a head start. They're irrelevant now. AltaVista, Excite, Lycos, InfoSeek. An entire generation of search engines tried to compete. Every single one is dead. Google generates more profit than any company in America. More than Apple, Microsoft, or Berkshire Hathaway. 90% market share in search. Declared a monopoly by the US government in 2024. The question isn't whether Google dominates. The question is why no one else can build what Google built. Why does every competitor who tries end up in the graveyard? This is the story of the only search engine that survived and the 3 advantages that made it impossible to beat. 1996. Larry Page and Sergey Brin meet at Stanford. They argue constantly about cities, transportation, who's smarter. It's the start of a partnership that changes everything. Search at the time is broken. Every search engine ranks websites by counting keywords. Want to rank for dog food? Write dog food 1,000 times on your page. Spam everywhere. AltaVista, Yahoo, Excite. They all have traffic, but none of them have relevance. You search for something, you get garbage results, you click around hoping to find what you need. Page's dissertation idea solves this. Treat the web like academic citations. Important papers get cited by other important papers. Important websites should work the same way. This becomes PageRank, the breakthrough that makes Google possible. But there's a problem. To make it work, they need to map the entire web, every page, every link, figure out who links to who, then rank everything based on those connections. The timing is perfect. The web is around 600,000 sites, big enough to matter, small enough to actually map. 1 year later, too big. 1 year earlier, too small to bother. They build it. It works. The best websites rise to the top. Spam disappears. The results are shockingly better than anything else out there. Early users spread the word. Stanford first, then Silicon Valley, then everywhere. People use it because it actually works. No marketing, no deals, just word of mouth. But a better algorithm means nothing if you can't scale it. Google's competitors use million-dollar servers. Google can't afford that. So they do something radical. Buy cheap computers, consumer-grade hardware that breaks constantly. Then design the system so it doesn't matter when things break. They hire engineers who figure out how to spread everything across thousands of cheap machines. One computer dies, the data lives somewhere else. It's like having 1,000 backup copies running at once. This creates a massive cost advantage. Google scales cheaper than anyone. Competitors spend millions on fancy servers. Google spends hundreds on commodity parts. There's a famous story from their early data center. The competitors' setup next door looked pristine. Gleaming servers, perfect cable management. Google's setup looked like a garage project. Motherboards screwed to corkboard, wires everywhere. But it worked. And it cost a fraction of what everyone else was spending. This infrastructure becomes the foundation for everything Google builds next. Competitors can't copy it. They're stuck with expensive systems and old assumptions about how search should work. By 2000, Google is handling millions of queries daily. But there's still no business model. They're trying to sell search technology to enterprises, getting rejected everywhere. The breakthrough comes from an experiment. They put Amazon book links in search results. If someone clicks through and buys, Google gets a commission. It's just a test. People click like crazy. They're not just browsing, they're actively looking for something to buy. This is the missing piece. Search captures intent. Someone typing running shoes wants to buy running shoes right now. Show them the right ad at that exact moment. They click, they buy, it works. AdWords launches in 2000. Self-serve ads. Anyone can buy keywords. But it's still cost per 1,000 impressions pricing, still gameable by spammers, still not quite right. Then Bill Gross at Overture invents pay-per-click auctions. Advertisers bid on keywords, highest bidder wins. You only pay when someone clicks. Google sees this and realizes they can do it better. They build a system that rewards relevance. Good ads that people actually click, those advertisers pay less. Bad ads nobody wants, those cost more or disappear entirely. This aligns everyone. Google makes more money, advertisers make more money, users see better ads. Everyone wins. The economic magic kicks in. More advertisers bidding means higher prices for ad space. More users searching means more valuable data. Google can outspend everyone to acquire users because each user becomes more valuable over time. Distribution strategy unlocks. Google Toolbar launches. 7 times more searches per user. They pay anything to get it installed. Bundle it with Adobe, Real Networks, WinZip. The lifetime value justifies aggressive spending. The flywheel completes. Distribution drives volume. Volume drives advertiser liquidity. More advertisers drive higher prices. Higher prices fund more distribution spending. It compounds. By the 2004 IPO, Google is doing $3 billion in revenue and $400 million in profit. The money printer is fully operational. The moat gets wider. Competitors can't match Google's monetization per search, can't afford the same distribution spend, can't replicate the data advantage. Microsoft tries. Spends over $100 billion on Bing over the next 2 decades, captures maybe 3% market share. Google's advantages multiply. Better algorithm attracts more users. More users generate more data. More data improves the algorithm. More searches attract more advertisers. More advertisers drive higher auction prices. Higher prices fund aggressive distribution. The cycle never stops. Today, Google does $350 billion in revenue, $100 billion in profit, more than any US company. Search is still 57% of revenue, but the empire is much bigger now. YouTube alone does $50 billion annually. Cloud business finally profitable, $10 billion annual profit, growing 35% year over year. Google Cloud runs on the same infrastructure Google built for search, the same cost advantages, the same scale. Enterprises pay for access to Google's AI tools, technology nobody else can match. Android powers 70% of smartphones globally, ensures Google is the default everywhere. Chrome browser, Gmail, Maps, YouTube. Google owns the entry points to the internet. The distribution moat is massive. Google pays Apple $20 billion annually to be Safari's default search engine, worth every penny. Keeps users in the ecosystem, keeps competitors out. August 2024. US court rules. Google is an illegal monopoly in search. The government says Google's dominance is too much. But here's the thing, the advantages that created the monopoly are still there. Breaking up Google doesn't change the fundamental economics of search. The competitors are still dead. Microsoft's $100 billion bet on Bing still failed. Yahoo still can't compete. The graveyard keeps growing. Then AI hits. ChatGPT launches in late 2022. Everyone panics. Is this the end of Google search? Will AI replace the search box entirely? The pessimists say yes. AI answers reduce clicks by 50%. If people get answers directly from AI, they don't click ads. Google's business model collapses. But here's what the pessimists miss. Google invented the core technology behind modern AI. The breakthrough that powers ChatGPT, Claude, every major AI model that came from Google researchers in 2017. The Transformer paper. Everyone else is building on Google's foundation. DeepMind acquisition in 2014 gave them the world's best AI research lab. The people who created modern AI work at Google. Gemini models are multimodal, faster, more integrated into Google's ecosystem than any competitor. The resource advantage matters. Google can afford to lose money on AI while perfecting it. OpenAI needs to raise billions, Anthropic needs to raise billions. Google prints billions in profit every quarter from search. They can outspend everyone. The integration advantage matters too. AI across search, Gmail, Docs, Maps, YouTube. No one else has this surface area. No one else has this data. No one else has this distribution. Cloud becomes the AI infrastructure layer. Businesses building on Google's AI tools. The same advantages that made search untouchable are making AI untouchable. 3 advantages multiplied. Algorithm created user preference. Infrastructure created cost advantage. Business model created revenue advantage. Competitors needed all 3 simultaneously. No one ever had all 3 at once. Microsoft had money but couldn't build the infrastructure. Yahoo had traffic but couldn't monetize it. Alta Vista had technology but couldn't scale it. Google had everything. And once they had it, the advantages compounded. AI isn't a threat to Google, it's the next moat. Google has the talent, the data, the resources, and the distribution no competitor can match. They've reinvented themselves before. mobile, cloud, video, and won every time. The same advantages that made search untouchable are making AI untouchable. This isn't the end of Google's dominance, it's the beginning of the next chapter. The competitor graveyard isn't full yet. If you want to understand how the greatest businesses are built and why they stay on top, subscribe.